Hello artists! Paper mache has been used by artists around the world throughout time. This project is inspired by Kashmiri paper mache artworks. Now that you've learned about Kashmiri paper mache artwork, we are going to be making our own paper mache bowls inspired by what we have learned. This is a bowl like the one we are going to make. I'm going to show you the first steps on how to get started making your paper pulp, which we will then let sit overnight before we add flour to the shredded paper that will be wet at that point. And once we do, we can mold it into a bowl like this. And I will show you how to do that in future videos. So for today, we are going to start shredding our paper, and we are going to make our paper mache to work with to make our Kashmiri inspired bowls. You are going to need some newspaper and a container of some kind to put newspaper and water in. So make sure the container you choose can hold liquid. So I found this empty coffee can in my recycling bin that I'm going to use to make my paper mache in. So I'm going to put that aside. So you will need newspaper. I'm recommending you use 3 full sheets of newspaper. So when you unfold your newspaper, make sure you have 3 full sheets. So when you open it out like this, you have 1, 2, and 3 full sheets. And we are going to tear our 3 sheets of newspaper up and put it into our container. So the goal is to tear your sheets of newspaper into as small of pieces as you can make. So I like to go ahead and bring my newspaper up like this and fold where these little notches are and hold it here and tear. Now that I have some shreds, I put the strips in my hand like this, hold them over my bowl or the recycled container I found. So keep going with this until you have 3 whole sheets of newspaper torn up and in your container. Now that I've torn up 3 whole sheets of newspaper, I'm going to bring my container over to the sink and I'm going to let the tap water run until it is hot. So make sure you have your hands clear of the hot water. I don't know how hot your tap water gets at your house. At my house, it doesn't get too hot. It won't burn me. Make sure you run it until it's hot and then fill up your container until the water is over your paper. I've now filled up my container with hot water from the tap. So as you can see, there is water in my container about 3/4 of the way up the container, and it's covering all of my paper. You can go ahead and put the lid on your container if your container has a lid. If it doesn't, that's okay too. If you would like to do the next step tomorrow, you can. Just make sure your paper sits at least overnight, if not 24 hours or more.